The Stand at Willow Creek. My name's Jack Sullivan, and my life is tied to the 80 acres of rugged earth I call Willow Creek Farm, nestled in the rolling hills of eastern Tennessee. This isn't just land, it's a legacy, carved out by my great-grandfather in the 1910s, weathered by my father through floods, freezes, and the Great Depression. Now it's mine, a place of hard-won crops, weathered barns, and the undisputed ruler of the fields, Samson, a massive Angus bull with a temper to match his pedigree. Samson's no ordinary beast. He's the great-grandson of Goliath, a champion bull my grandfather bought at auction in 1958. Goliath graced the cover of Farm and Field magazine, his black coat gleaming, as like he owned the county. That framed cover still hangs in my tool shed, a reminder of what this farm stands for. Samson's bigger, fiercer, and carries that same regal air, like he knows he's the heart of this place. Cross his pasture uninvited, and you'll regret it. Trouble started when the Willow Grove Estates sprouted up next door, a gated community with manicured lawns and matching mailboxes. Their HOA, led by Deborah Vance, a woman with a smile as sharp as a lawyer's letter, seemed to think their rules extended past their cul-de-sacs. Deborah, with her pressed blazers and clipboard, had a knack for turning neighborly disputes into personal crusades. Her first letters were polite, complaints about agricultural odors and unsightly fences. I ignored them, sipping coffee and tossing the papers into the fire. But Deborah wasn't one to be brushed off. Soon, she was at my gate, demanding to survey my property line for community harmony. I showed her a county map, stamped and notarized, proving my fence was exactly where it belonged. "This isn't your jurisdiction, ma'am," I said. "My land, my rules." She adjusted her glasses, her smile tightening. "Cooperation avoids escalation, Mr. Sullivan." Behind me, Samson let out a deep bellow, making her flinch. I hid a grin. The real storm hit at 3 a.m. a month later. Motion lights flooded the south field, and my security feed showed a man in a Willow Grove HOA jacket scaling my 7-foot fence. He landed in Samson's pasture, knee-deep in mud, clueless about the 2,000-pound monarch watching him. Samson raised his head, snorted like a freight train, and charged. The man froze, then bolted, slipping in the dirt. A second figure appeared, Deborah herself, scrambling over the fence, whispering, "Mark, get out." She hit the ground hard, right in a fresh pile of Samson's leavings. Samson circled, tail flicking, steam rising from his nostrils. Mark sprinted, only to trip when Samson nudged a water trough into his path. Deborah screamed as Samson rushed her, stopping short to kick up a cloud of filth that coated her from head to toe. From my porch, coffee in hand, I flipped on a speaker rigged with a fake sheriff's radio. "All units, trespass in progress. Contain livestock threat." They panicked, Deborah slipping again, Mark tangled in barbed wire, his HOA-branded cap left behind. I opened the gate remotely. They fled, caked in shame and manure. Samson returned to his hay, unbothered. 3 days of silence followed, but I knew Deborah was plotting. Then, at midnight, a black SUV idled outside my gate. Deborah knocked, dressed like she was headed to a boardroom, not a farm. "Jack, can we talk?" she purred, clutching a manila folder. I let her in, keeping her on the mat. She offered a $30,000 check to settle the incident, delete my footage, and move Samson to a backfield. I laughed. "You think I'd trade my family's honor for a used truck?" Her mask slipped. "You're making a mistake," she hissed, storming out, her heels cracking against my porch. The next morning, I found a strange feed bin near Samson's fence, half hidden in the grass. It smelled off-sweet, with a chemical bite. Samson stood clear, eyeing it like it was a snake. I called my vet, Dr. Larson, who tested it. "Jack, this is livestock-grade herbicide," he said. One bite would have dropped Samson in hours. My blood ran cold. This wasn't a prank, it was attempted murder. Deborah escalated. Flyers appeared on neighborhood mailboxes, showing Samson with glowing eyes and headlines like "Dangerous Beast Threatens Safety." They demanded his relocation or humane disposal. Anonymous calls flooded my phone. Fake officials, even someone mooing before hanging up. 2 HOA members set up lawn chairs outside my fence, monitoring Samson with notepads. Then a rock, painted with the Willow Grove logo, smashed through my kitchen window. I filed a police report: trespassing, vandalism, attempted animal cruelty. Sheriff Daniels, a friend since high school, shook his head. "This is harassment, Jack, but we need hard proof." I nodded, watching Samson chew hay, his calm strength fueling mine. I'll get it, I said. The break came via an unmarked envelope under my doormat. Inside was a USB with an audio file, Deborah's voice, clear as day, in a secret HOA meeting. She outlined plans to neutralize the farmer, fake code violations, and hire consultants to deal with Samson. Then, Ethan, the HOA's nervous treasurer, called me from a payphone. I'm done covering for her, he whispered. We met behind a gas station, where he handed over expense reports, forged maps, and receipts for sanitation services tied to the poison. I spent 2 days with my lawyer, building a case, trespassing, fraud, harassment, animal cruelty. At night, I sat by Samson's pen, his massive frame a quiet anchor. They came for you, I told him. But we're ending this. He nudged my arm, his breath warm, like he understood. The lawsuit hit like a thunderbolt. In court, the room crackled. Locals, reporters, even a state senator filled the seats. Deborah sat rigid, her smile brittle. We played her recorded voice, showed the doctored maps, and put Ethan on the stand, his testimony damning. Deborah cracked, shouting, I built this community. That beast and his owner mocked me. I leaned forward. You mocked yourself, crawling through my bull's dung. The judge's verdict was swift, $1.2 million in damages to me, a 500-yard restraining order against the HOA, and a referral for Deborah's criminal prosecution. She collapsed into her chair, silent. Her board faced fines and community service. Ethan walked free. Outside, reporters swarmed. Any words, Mr. Sullivan? I grinned. Justice smells like a barnyard, and I'm breathing easy. Back home, I sat with Samson, his bulk warm against my shoulder. We'd won. Months later, the farm's a local legend. I used the payout to fix the house and erect a sign, private land. No entry. Bull and owner don't negotiate. Tourists snap photos. A craft brewery named a stout Samson's Revenge, with his face on the can. A documentary crew filmed us for Roots and Rebels, Samson's chase scene set to dramatic strings. Kids send drawings of him in capes. I pinned them above my desk. Deborah's in a low-security prison, teaching anger management. The HOA's gone, replaced by a co-op that respects my boundaries. I'm still farming, tending crops, mending fences, grumbling when Samson topples a gate for sport. But now, each step carries the weight of victory. One evening, as the sun sank behind the hills, I leaned against Samson. We showed him, didn't we? He grunted, long and low, the sound rolling across Willow Creek like a promise kept. What do you think? Did I go too far? Or was Deborah's campaign an injustice that deserved this fight? Share your thoughts below, especially on standing up to bullying and unfair power. Let's hear your stance.